What's up, guys? Hope everybody's all doing well. Today's video is going to be about my prediction on the fight that's just been signed between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. I don't think it's official yet, as they still have to decide on where the fight's going to take place and some other details, I think money as well. But at the moment, I believe Saudi Arabia are the front runners to host this fight, and I believe it's being targeted for June, July, and the rematch then for November, December time. So let's get into the actual breakdown of the fight. Now, both men are very big men in the heavyweight division. I think Tyson Fury is about 6'8", 6'9", about 270 pounds. Anthony Joshua, I think he's about 6'6", 6'7", about 240, 250. I think he's trimmed down a bit since losing to Andy Ruiz to get a little bit lighter on his feet, also help out with his stamina a bit, and I think it worked. Now, I know Andy Ruiz came in out of shape for the rematch, but a more trimmer, lighter Anthony Joshua, 240, I think he was able to move a lot better. He was a lot lighter on his feet, and it really helped him out to be able to box on the back foot in that fight. He also didn't seem to fatigue as much, but as well, you got to take into account that Ruiz came in out of shape and wasn't really able to make it that physical of a fight, and the pace was very slow. But both men in this fight, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, coming off very big victories in which they looked very good and were extremely dominant, both of them. Tyson obviously coming off a dominant stoppage victory over Deontay Wilder, and Anthony Joshua coming off of a dominant stoppage victory over Kubrat Pulev. So both men are coming into this fight off great performances, and you know the saying, you're only as good as your last fight. So both guys coming in very good form, and both guys in the primes of their career. So let's hope the fight actually does take place this year, as you know, the longer it doesn't take place, the worse, as both guys will be getting older. And we don't want it to end up being like a Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao situation, but it looks like it's going to take place this year, which is great for boxing. And we're finally going to get to have a unification and an undisputed heavyweight champion in the heavyweight division, which hasn't happened in a very long time. So, anyways, guys, let's get down into the actual nitty gritty of the fight. So, Tyson Fury, in my opinion, is the slicker, more skilled boxer out of the two. He's able to move a lot better on the back foot. You know, he's able to move better when boxing on the back foot. Lateral movement is definitely on point. Has some of the best legs in the heavyweight division. Him and his cousin Hughie Fury both have tremendous lateral movement. So, in this fight, I expect Tyson Fury to be the more agile of the two guys. He has the better head movement and reflexes, in my opinion. I think he has the better speed overall, which is quite exceptional for him being 6'9" and 270 pounds to be the fastest guy in the ring. So he can box on the inside and the outside, as well as on the back foot or the front foot. You know, he can get aggressive in there. He can fight on the inside and the outside. He can box both southpaw and orthodox. In this fight, I'm expecting him to use a lot of feints, use his jab to really help keep Joshua at bay while he stays out of harm's way on the outside. You know, controlling the distance as he does very well behind his jab and using his lateral movement and feints. So he has a tremendous boxing IQ as well, Tyson Fury. He knows his limitations. So he also has tremendous willpower. But in this fight, I expect Tyson Fury to be stacking up rounds, putting rounds in the bank behind his jab. Like I say, with him being the more skilled boxer of the two. But I do still think it's a dangerous fight, because Anthony Joshua, he's a skillful big man himself. He may not have the same type of head movement of defense and movement as Tyson Fury, but he's definitely an improving fighter. We've seen, like I say, he's gotten lighter on his feet. He's no longer as flat-footed and clunky and slow as he used to be on his feet. So his feet have gotten better. He's also improved his stamina with the loss of weight, and he's he's an intelligent guy that's always willing to learn. Now, both fighters, in my opinion, are willing to learn. As you've seen Tyson Fury switch over to the Kronk style, and he's a lot more aggressive since joining up with Sugar Hill and, you know, his cousin Andy Lee. So, but Anthony Joshua the same, very crafty guy and willing to learn. We've seen he's improved his game on the inside. He's got quite a crafty game as well with that right uppercut and the left hook. On the outside, he has got a stiff, hard jab. In my opinion, Tyson Fury has the better jab of the two. Tyson can also mix up the jab to the head and the body pretty well, and he also can mix up the jab from being a flicking jab to being a hard, stiff jab that he uses to bust you up as a weapon. Like I say, he can use that flicking jab to set up other shots and blind you. Anthony Joshua, he seems to just stick to more of the thudding jab, but he has a good boxing IQ as well, and in my opinion, he's a pretty good counterpuncher on the outside. You've seen him counter guys over the jab, which is one way he tries to take an opponent's jab away. So that's going to be interesting in this fight to see if he can take Tyson Fury's jab away. In the last fight, he hit Kubrat Pulev with a beautiful counter right hand over Kubrat's jab, and Kubrat was a fighter with a very good jab. He handled Kubrat Pulev very well, but obviously Kubrat Pulev and Tyson Fury are two completely different kettle of fish. Tyson Fury being 6'9", Pulev being a shorter man than Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury also being a lot slicker with a lot better reflexes and head movement and defense, as well as being a lot younger. So it's going to be a much bigger challenge for Anthony Joshua, but like I say, he's a good counter puncher. And he's a smart fighter, also with very good power. So it's a dangerous fight. Obviously, if he hits Tyson Fury, he can hurt him with that right hand or the left hook. And on the inside, Tyson Fury, I think he can hold his own. Definitely, I actually think he might be the better of the two fighters on the inside, because in my opinion, Tyson Fury is a better body puncher than Anthony Joshua. And we saw in the Dillian White fight that Joshua, he doesn't really like that left hook to the body that Dillian was hitting, but it was folding him over and tiring him out. So in my opinion, Tyson Fury, with that size advantage and the height advantage as well, he's going to be able to push Joshua back on the inside and rough him up a bit. You know, he'll use the forearm, the head. He's very crafty on the inside, and he'll be able to tie up Anthony Joshua on the inside, in my opinion. But he'll have to be careful because, like I say, AJ is crafty on the inside. The way he sets up that right uppercut on the inside and then follows it up with the big left hook. In my opinion, though, Tyson Fury's the fitter out of the two, even though he doesn't look it. So, in my opinion, in this fight, like I said, I think Tyson Fury is going to be ahead on points because, in my opinion, he's the better, slicker, more skillful boxer of the two. So I think he's going to be winning rounds. But late in the fight, if Joshua fatigues, which he has in the past, now I think his stamina has improved a bit, but I still don't think his stamina is as good as Tyson Fury's. So in my opinion, I'm leaning towards Tyson Fury winning this fight on points. But I also think he does have a chance of a late stoppage in this fight if Anthony Joshua starts to fade. Now, I've heard a lot of people compare this fight and say it's going to look how the Fury-Klitschko fight looked back in the day. Now, that is a possibility. I think there will be some similarities. But I think Tyson Fury is more aggressive since linking up with the Kronk gym. So I think he'll let the right hand go a bit more. And you also got to take into account that Vladimir Klitschko is a very awkward guy, and he's not easy to hit. And he controls distance extremely well because he had very good feet. And very good jab, obviously, as well as he would control the range with his reach and stuff like that. Also, Fury was being very cautious in that fight. I don't think was as confident then as he is now. And like I say, also I think Klitschko is a very awkward guy to fight and has better feet than Joshua. So I think he's a lot harder to hit than Anthony Joshua is at the moment. And like with Fury linking up with the Kronk gym, I do expect him to be a little bit more aggressive. So I don't think Fury will be as aggressive as he was when he fought Deontay Wilder in the rematch. But I do expect him to be more aggressive than when he fought Klitschko or than when he fought Wilder in the first fight. Because in the first fight, Fury hurt Wilder a handful of times in the first fight where he would buzz him with the right hand. But then he wouldn't jump on him or pursue it. He'd just stay on his bike and box on the outside behind the jab. So in that first fight, I felt if he was more aggressive with Wilder, he could have stopped him in that fight. But since he's hooked up with Sugar Hill, he's more aggressive. So I think you're going to see a blend of the two. A more aggressive Fury than that fought Klitschko, but not as aggressive as he was in the Wilder rematch, unless he hurts Joshua and he starts to try and finish him off, or if Joshua starts fatiguing badly, which could happen in this fight. Now, obviously, Joshua could hurt Fury as well, due to him having a lot of power and being a skilled counterpuncher himself. So he could hurt Fury as well in this fight. That's why I say it's a dangerous fight. I don't expect him to catch Fury. I don't expect him to beat Fury in this fight. But if he hurts Fury, I think Fury has got the boxing IQ and the survival skills to be able to, survive and gain back the control of the fight and either win a decision or a late stoppage. Now, obviously, I would in this fight favor Fury to win by decision, but like I said, I think he has a chance at a late stoppage in this fight. Now, also you have to take into account how aggressive is Anthony Joshua going to be in this fight, because you saw Klitschko wasn't really willing to take too many risks with Fury, and that's why that fight was the way it was. And that's a thing. I don't think Joshua is going to be too willing to get hit by Fury, as in my opinion Fury has underrated power, so I don't think he's going to be overly aggressive and willing to take too many chances or run too many red lights in this fight. I don't think he's going to take too many chances against Tyson Fury, because I expect Fury to use his feint, a lot of feints in this fight, and I think that's going to make Joshua hesitant, and he's not going to be sure when to, is Fury going to throw, and I think that's going to kind of hurt his counter-punching ability in this fight, that feint, because I believe it's going to draw reactions out of Joshua, and Fury's going to be able to see what type of shots Anthony Joshua's looking to counter him with, and I think that's going to really stifle Joshua's attack in this fight, make him really hesitant, and so I do think Tyson Fury is going to outsmart Anthony Joshua in this fight and outbox him. I'm very intrigued for this fight, because it's two skilled big men. Anybody can hurt anybody in there, and it's very interesting because, like I said, I think Fury's the better fighter on the outside, but on the inside I also think he may be a little bit better, but that remains to be seen. I mean, because Joshua, he has the more power out of the two, and that can definitely equalize anything that Fury's doing in this fight. So I'm definitely looking forward to this fight. I'm going with Fury to win on points, although, like I say, I do think he has a chance at a late stoppage, but I'm picking Fury to win this fight. He is the favorite in this fight. I think he should be the favorite. So yeah, that's my opinion on this fight, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this fight in the comment section below. Am I picking the right guy? Am I wrong about Joshua? Am I underrating Joshua? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks, guys. I'm rolling with Fury. Cheers.